I'm Ankita Pokharel. In today's video, we'll do reading and grammar section for the unit Making Comparisons. Let's begin the class now. Okay students, we are now about to begin the unit Making Comparisons. We have the first part of the reading, and that's From Pole to Pole. Let's read it out. Antarctica and the Arctic region are the coldest areas of our planet. They have been the destinations for many scientific studies. Antarctica is the coldest of the 7 continents. Masses of ice and snow cover most of Antarctica's land. Antarctica lies around the South Pole. It is the most barren place on Earth. Few plants can survive in its extreme cold. Only a few types of wildlife live in the coast. There is no sunlight at all for 4 months at a time in Antarctica. This keeps the continent very cold. There are no cities or towns. In fact, no people live there permanently. Antarctica was discovered in 1820. Many teams of explorers visit there to learn about this interesting piece of land. The seacoast has a variety of animal life. Whales, seals, penguins, and fish are among the animals that live in the coastal water. All of these animals depend on the sea for food and shelter. At the opposite end of the Earth is the North Pole. It is called the Arctic. It is also a very cold region, but it has warmer areas than Antarctica has, so the Arctic is a permanent home for many people. Parts of Europe, Asia, and North America are also in this region. Most of the Arctic lands have no snow and ice in the summer. In many parts, there is no sunshine during the winter. However, there is at least a little sunshine for some of each day from March to September. So now, let's quickly extract the key points from the text given. So what are the coldest areas of the planet as mentioned by the text? It's both Antarctica and Arctic, right? So these two are the coldest areas of the planet, coldest region of Earth. They have been destinations for scientific studies too. So Antarctica is the coldest of the 7 continents. It's covered mostly by ice and snow, right? Where is it located? It's located around the South Pole, and it was also mentioned about its discovery in 1820. So what are the wildlife along the coast? They are whales, seals, penguins, and fish, right? Likewise, Arctic, where is it located? It's located around the North Pole. Slightly warmer than Antarctica, it's a permanent home for many people in the parts of Europe, Asia, and North America. We also got to know that Arctic lands have no snow or ice during summer, and Antarctica's seacoast supports a variety of animal life, mainly dependent on sea for food and shelter. We also got to know about wildlife and environment of Antarctica as well, right? So these are the key takeaways of the lesson. So what are the 2 coldest areas on Earth? So what did we read just about? We read about Antarctica and Arctic region. So these are the 2 coldest areas on Earth. Why is it cold in Antarctica? So what was it mentioned in the text? So we get to know that it was mentioned that there is no sunlight at all for 4 months at the time in Antarctica, which makes the planet very cold. So this is what you have to write in your own sentence. Why do only a few wildlife species live in Antarctica? So according to the text, it was so mentioned that there are some whales, seals, penguins, and fish, which are the animals that live in coastal areas, the coastal water, right? And since all of these animals depend on the sea for food and shelter, only a few wildlife species live in Antarctica, and the other wildlife are not found here due to lack of sunlight for a longer time. When was Antarctica discovered? It was discovered in 1820. What animals live in Antarctica? We have just discussed about it, so hence you can do it on your own. Where is the Arctic located? It's located in the North Pole of the Earth. Why When is there no sunshine in the Arctic? There's no sunshine in the Arctic during the winter time. So please do it as your assignment. I have just discussed the answer. You need to write them in your own sentences. Let's quickly move to completing the missing words in the table. See here, we have adjective, we have comparative and superlative. Whenever we are making comparisons, it can be between two people or two things. When it's between two people or two things, we mention them as comparative. Whenever we are trying to figure out the highest degree of the quality among three or more things, or people or things as whole. So it should be three or more. Okay. See here, example is given. If there is an adjective old, the comparative, that means in between two, comparisons made between two people or thing, older. If we are comparing between three or more things, then it's oldest. Likewise, let's try doing it. Cold, colder, coldest. Much, more, most. It's not mucher and muchest. Okay, there are exceptional cases in grammar. Alright, so we have warmest as superlative. So it could be warm, warmer, and warmest. Nice, nicer. Then comes nicest. Good. The comparative between good to people, it's better. And when you're comparing between three or more, it's best. Little, less, and least. Many, many is also more and most. Interesting, more interesting. Then we have most interesting for longer words with longer syllables. Okay, then comes barren, more barren, and as mentioned, most barren. So here, looking upon the sentences, we need to use comparative or superlative forms of adjectives given in the brackets. Let's try doing a few together, and remaining is going to be your assignment. My father is the dash person in my family. So we are comparing between three or more, right? So the tallest. Whenever you are using superlative degree, we always use the in front. Mary is dash than Kamala. We are comparing between two people, shorter. Jenny is dash helpful than Muna, more helpful. We are comparing between two people, more helpful than Muna. You are the dash person I have ever met. So it's between more than two. You are the sweetest person I have ever met. My friend is the dash dancer in the class. Comparison is made in between all. That means more than three, right? My friend is the best dancer in the class. So the remaining is your assignment. Try doing it on your own. See here, it's going to be easy for us when we read this poem. Some boys are big, some boys are bigger. Some girls are tall while others are taller. So these are the comparisons made between two, right? Bigger, taller. Some girls can run while others should walk. Some boys listen while others talk. So this is a very interesting poem given. Some people give and some people take. Some farmers hoe, leaving others to rake. Sometimes we plant and sometimes we sow. Sometimes we stop when perhaps we should go. So in the first stanza, there is a comparison made between some people who are big and bigger, some girls who are tall and taller. There are people who walk when others should talk. There are people who run while others should walk. There are people who listen while others talk. This is very interesting. And in the second stanza, people are described as givers and takers. Some people take and some people give. There are some farmers who sow, that means who grow or plant things, and leaving others to rake. It means to clean or to gather leaves with a long handle of a row of teeth or tines and the ends. I am sure you have seen these kind of tools, right? Okay. Sometimes we plant and sometimes we sow. There are many times when we work the opposites, and when are there times when we should stop, we actually go and we do the opposites, right? The desert is the hottest, but the mountains so cold. So here are comparisons made between desert and mountains. Some people are cautious and others are bold. Some people take precautions, they are careful, and others love to go for adventure. It is good to be happy and okay to be sad when we think of good and the bad times we've had. So it's always okay to go back and memorize or think about the times that were good and bad, but it's very important that we do not stick up to the same time, because present is the real moment. So here we have another exercise, completing the sentences with a, and, or, the. You are sure about using a and an. When do we use the? We use the when things are mentioned in particular, or when things are repeated, or we also use the for the superlatives, right? So if there is any specific thing, we use the. Specific means particular. When a thing is already mentioned and the sentence again repeats or reveals about the same thing, we use the. The is also used in front of superlatives. For example, let's go to number D. Amar is the funniest boy in the class. The comparison is made throughout the class, so we use the. Funniest is the superlative. Look, that sky is lovely today. Do we have any particular? Only one? Yes, the sky is only one, so we use the sky is lovely today. Okay, so when things are mentioned as only one, any particular or specific things, anything that's been repeated, or any superlatives, we use the before them. Try doing this exercise. How did your class go today? If you have any suggestions or feedback, feel free to reach out to us at learning@dearwalk.edu.np. See you in the next class with another lesson. Thank you.